Hi everyone, good afternoon. It is Sarah Shipton here from Scrapbooking with Sarah, and I am coming live to you today on Tuesday the 26th of November with this week's Technique Tuesday class, and I am so excited to share this week's technique with you, where we are going to be using die cuts to embellish your scrapbooking layouts. And something that Stampin' Up! Does really well that some of you may not yet know about, and I'm excited to share with you because we have more of these style of dies coming in the new year as well, is that we have die cuts that actually coordinate with designer series paper that you can place over pattern paper on your scrapbooking layout, and you can cut them. So what this means is it actually negates the need for you to stamp first and then cut afterwards. So this is something I'm really excited about, because for those of you that transitioned over from Close to My Heart with me, we did not have a product like this. And I know that whilst I'm now a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, I know that some of my customers, and it's totally okay, choose not to stamp on their scrapbooking layouts, or may not yet have embraced stamping. And that's okay. That is the beauty about crafting. And it is really what works for you best. And I am just here to meet you where you are at and inspire you and encourage you to print your photos and tell your stories. So we've got a couple of people that have joined us live today. Hi Chris, hi Laurie. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you are inspired from my scrapbooking challenge this week. So moving right into the challenge, we are working with pattern number 8, which is from the Make It From Your Heart Volume 2 book. Now, I have not yet posted this week's scrapbooking challenge in our Facebook group, but I'm going to do that straight after the live. I wanted to come on live and do Technique Tuesday straight away because I am running a little late today. I was waiting for some of the product that I'm going to be sharing with you today to arrive in my order, which it did this morning. And I've had lots of fun playing with these products, and I hope that you are inspired by what I'm going to share with you today. So just a couple of tips with pattern number 8. You've got your base pages. So these are 12 by 12 base pages for your scrapbook layout. I have used very vanilla, so you can use plain cardstock, you can use pattern paper, really whatever works best for you. You can see here in the artwork samples on pages 20 and 21 that they have also used just plain cardstock in your base page. You've got a strip of 3-inch paper running down the left-hand side of your layout, and you might note that there is nothing here. I have actually added a second strip of matching 3 by 12-inch pattern paper because I went to put my embellishing down and it just kind of looked a little bit bare and I had room. So I have opted not to use this section of paper here, which is labeled K, and instead I've just cut another 3-inch strip of paper that matches this paper here. I'm going to go through the different papers that I've shared with you shortly. This section down the bottom here, I have not cut. I've actually just left that blank with my basic scrapbook layout page there, the base page of my layout. So instead what I've done here is I've opted to add a 4 by 6-inch landscape photo, and then I've got a mat around that, which is measuring at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and it is the same pattern paper that I've used here on the left hand and the right hand side for my borders. The paper's running right through the top here, so you're going to use a coordinating sheet of paper here. So paper number 2 is going to be the same sheet of paper, and I haven't changed anything there. I have cut that as it is. So I will pop these measurements in our Facebook group. This section here is 6 by 9 inch, and this section here is 6 by 7.5. And I've opted for some gold textured paper here, so I hope you are loving the green and gold that I'm sharing with you today. I was inspired to use gold because this is actually my Christmas table from last year's Christmas 2023, which we celebrated on Boxing Day. Now, I know that you girls will be able to relate to this. You know that you are a full-blown adult, right, when you are doing a coordinating Christmas table and hosting Christmas in your home, which I absolutely loved doing last year. So I was very excited. I've actually had the same Christmas table for, oh my gosh, a long time. It was like red, white and silver, and I decided to mix it up a little bit last year, and I went all out and bought new table settings and placemats and cutlery, and also my decorations, decor, a new table runner. I had it all coordinating, so I was very excited. And I actually even I handmade the table place settings as well. So for those of you that have been scrapbooking with me for a little while, you might recognize these Christmas ornaments. This was actually one of the home decor or crafting activities that we did at last year's Christmas crop. And I handmade the Christmas ornaments, and then using my die cuts, I actually cut out the letters for the table place settings and popped them over the side plates there. So a great way to use the ornaments, and I can switch my letters out if I need to later on. I'm going to stick with the same decor this year, and who knows what we're doing, because I've got a house full of shift workers and everyone is coming and going this Christmas. So still too early there. Mel has joined us. Hi Mel, welcome home. I hope you had I know you had a fabulous time in New York City, because I was watching your travels on Facebook and it looked absolutely amazing. So I cannot wait to see your photos in the flesh at Scrapbooking. So I've used the gold textured paper here, and then you're going to make photo mats that also run through the middle over the top of your second base of cardstock here. So you will need the same sheet of cardstock here. And I kept the measurements as they were for this piece of paper. This is paper number 4. I did keep the measurements as they were, but you can see that I have run off the edge a little bit here to get this third photo in. So that's okay. Don't be too alarmed about that. And then you've got a section of paper through the bottom here, which is actually meant to be from this sheet here, but then I would have had gold against gold. So I decided to mix it up a little bit, and I cut this green piece instead. And then I've matted my 3 photos. So these photos are measuring at 2 by 2 inches, and I've cut my photo mats out at 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So it's a little bit thicker than what you'll see in the instructions, which is 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. I do prefer a quarter inch around the outside for my photo mats, and then I've just popped them on the top of that strip here. So love it, love it, love it. I'm absolutely loving the green and the gold. These photos that run through the middle here, this was actually meant to be for a 5 by 7 inch landscape photo. So instead what I've done here is I've actually used 2 portrait photos. I've cut them at 5 inches in length here, but in width I've cut them at 3.5, and then that's enabled me to be able to get the matching dimensions had I used a 5 by 7 inch photo. So you've got 2 photos here measuring 5 by 3.5 inches. And these photos on the left hand side, I have followed the cutting instructions. So these are 5 by 3, 5 by 3, and instead of my journal box through here, I've used another photo also measuring 5 by 3 inches. Now, I'm in a little bit of a quandary about my journaling box, so I've actually left that off for the time being, because I did really just want to get on here and get this Technique Tuesday live done for you. Let's talk about the embellishing now. So what I've opted to use here, I'm so excited to share these goodies with you. This is actually the online exclusive that we started back in July. Now, I was still a relatively new Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I started officially on May 1st. And so this was our first online exclusive promotion that we had after I signed up. So this was all a little bit new to me. And the online exclusive was called Season of Green and Gold. Okay, so this is great for the crafters that want to get a head start on their Christmas crafting, because we launched this in July. Also, people host a lot of Christmas in July gatherings as well. And I hadn't yet ordered, well, I had actually ordered the product to share with you at my open house, but I ended up letting one of my customers take that particular product with them. And so I hadn't yet created with some of this product that I'm sharing with you until today. So you can see here that you've got artwork for cards. So this is a designer series paper, a specialty designer series paper. I'm going to give you a close-up look at that. This is our color palette running through the middle here. This is some vellum paper, which I'm also going to give you a little bit of a close-up with. And then on the back here, you've got some coordinating products. So we've got the Golden Greenery bundle. So you can actually get a 10% discount if you get the stamp set and the die cuts as a bundle, or you can purchase them separately. So I had only invested in the dies, which is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And then you've also got some other coordinating stamps, dies, and your embellishments. So we've got some ribbon here and also some adhesive backed berries in cherry, cobbler, and pearl. I have opted to use the gold foil, the iridescent foil gems for my embellishing today, because they've got this gorgeous gold speckle through here. So when I was actually coordinating all of my products up, one of the things that I really love about the my website is that there is a search function there. So I literally just typed in the word gold in my search function, and then everything that was gold related. So there was gold textured paper, there was gold thread, there was gold and silver trim combo as well. So there was a whole heap of different products that actually popped up in my search function. And that's one of the things I'm really enjoying, because the product range is so diverse. It can be really tricky to keep up with the oil all. So this is actually the gold trim. And what I've done here is I have actually fed the gold trim through my little bells here, and then tied a little knot, cut off the excess here, and I've popped my bells on some 3D, Stampin' Dimensionals. I keep going to say 3D foam tape, but you know I mean the Stampin' Dimensionals, right? So I've popped them up the top here like so. So that's been a really fun way to use this ribbon. There is a gold thread ribbon, but I opted for this combo pack with the gold and the silver, because gold and silver are colors that I use a lot in my scrapbooking, and I know that I will get some really good use out of using these two coordinating trims. So I will be sure to put the links and all of the codes in the comments after I post the video. I'm going to also share with you from the September mini catalogue how I coordinated this golden Season of Green and Gold up with some other designer series paper that I had. So I mentioned earlier that you've got a colour palette through here. So we're using the colours Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Garden Green, Pecan Pie, Berry Vanilla, and Gold Foil. So I've used Berry Vanilla for my base scrapbook pages. And then I decided to coordinate it up with some of the other Christmas products that I already had invested in, making sure that the colours were coordinating here. So I've got Old Olive and Mossy Meadow in the Season of Elegance. I've also got the gold here. So I had invested in these papers here. I'm going to share a close-up of those with you. And I'm going to also share with you, as part of today's Technique Tuesday, how we've actually got these die cut shapes cut out of the paper. So let's start with the coordinating paper here. So I'm just going to pop this in front of my camera. Now you can see that you've got these really big bell icons. I'm going to bring in now the golden greenery dies. So there are 2 sheets of dies in this pack. So these are ones that you can use for your cardstock. And you can see here I've used this pine die, and I've cut that out using my, which color green is that? There's so many greens and names. Oh, this is Mossy Meadow for sure. Okay, so I've cut that out there. And then I've also cut it on this side here as well. And I've just made a little embellishment cluster here. I've also cut, oh no, this one, the one with the beautiful love heart. So a little trick that I had with my gold textured paper, because I had matte this green paper over the top of my gold textured paper, I actually cut my circles using my Spotlight on nature dies. Now I have shared these dies in some videos previously. This is one of my favorite die sets to use for scrapbookers, and you can see why. They're large, they take up a lot of space. And what I did was I actually cut out 2 of these large circles out of this gold textured paper here. You don't want to be wasting that gorgeous gold textured paper. So that's my first little tip for you today. Cutting your Spotlight and nature dies out here. So we've double matted that. This green has gone over the top of the gold, so you're not going to see where I've cut those circles out. And then out of this one here, I was able to cut 3 different size circles, this one, and this one. So I just like to cut out a whole heap of different circles. Because this gold paper is textured, you will see some lines through here. So my tip to you, this may or may not bother you, but I made sure that when I put my large circles on the page, my textured lines that you do see are actually running vertically, which coordinate also with how the textured gold paper is running left to right on my page. So that just makes it nice and balanced and streamlined. The eye kind of moves from left to right as you're turning your pages in your scrapbook album. So that's another little tip there for you with that gold textured paper. So I have cut out also with my leftovers. I only used 1 sheet of this gold textured paper on this whole layout here. I have actually cut out some hearts. So this large die here is how I've been able to get this gorgeous little heart embellishment. And you can see that it makes an embossed line through the middle of the love heart as well. And I've just used some mini glue dots to stick my hearts down. You only need about 3 or 4 of the mini glue dots on the layout there. And you can see that I've started with my large Spotlight on nature dies, and then I've just fed all my other bits and pieces in and underneath and layered on top as well. So I like to have my tweezers handy for that, and I play around with the placement and see how that looks. I feel I could probably pop another little something out there. So coming back to this designer series paper, this is where we're going to start getting into the tip for the dies, okay? So with the golden greenery dies, you've got these ones here, which you can cut out of cardstock. And then there is another sheet here where I'm going to bring these into the camera. The dies actually go over the top of your designer series paper. So I'm going to start with these bells. Now you can see we've got some bells grouped together, and then we've got some bells that are singular on their own. So you can actually cut your designer series paper. You want to cut this at 6 inches in half, and then you're going to be able to run this designer series paper through your die cutting and embossing machine, and that's how I've managed to cut out these gorgeous little bells. They even cut with the hole in them, so cute. And then I've been able to thread the gold trim through the bells there and just pop them up with some 3D foam tape. So I'm going to show you the before and after of these papers in just a moment. I'm just going to share with you some of the other gorgeous papers. I've already turned these over back to back. So you've got some spotty dotty paper, some green striped paper. This is just stunning. So you've got this gorgeous floral and pine cone with the love, a mixture of the love hearts and these little leaves, and it's got some embossed gold paper through here. I love it. It is so pretty. It's so formal. And you know what? I wouldn't even just use these papers for Christmas. Look at this. I can't even deal, seriously. I wouldn't even use these papers for Christmas. You could use these on any formal occasions. I would also use these with my travel layouts as well. Any outdoor photos that I might be taking. I just love them. So you get 2 sheets of each of these papers. I've actually turned them over so you can see them either side. So that is it in 12 by 12, and this is where I've cut it at 6 inches. Okay, so you want to cut your designer series paper in half. This is so it's going to fit through your die cutting and embossing machine. I showed you the bells. Wait till you see this, girls. This little die here actually goes over this print here on the designer series paper. This die here goes over this green and gold one. I cannot even, like, is this just not the best thing ever? And then this die here with your, what do you call this? This is like your pine. That goes over the top of that. Like, can we just take a moment to appreciate that? So you can, as I mentioned, you can get the dies just on their own, which is what I started with. I should have actually, in hindsight, gone straight for the bundle because I would have saved 10% off, because I'm looking at this now and going, oh my gosh, I wish I got the stamp set. So you can get the bundle together, or you can buy the stamp and the dies separately. It's entirely up to you. I will post these. Now, that is my before, and I want to show you the after. So this is this one here. Okay, so what I want to say here, you can see where I've cut the shapes out of. See how some of these go off the edge of your paper? I will still go through and cut them. You can't actually notice, but this piece of vellum here and this one here, these were pieces that hung off of the edge, but I've actually positioned my embellishments one on top of each other. I've layered it so then you can't actually see where there are bits that have been cut off a straight edge. And whilst this is 6 inch, don't be too alarmed if your die, let's use this one as an example here. Don't be too alarmed if your die is hanging slightly off, because you will have a little bit of give on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. The 6 inches of the plate, and then you've got probably about, I want to say, 1/4 of an inch on either side as well. So I was still able to run this paper through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with my die a little bit off the edge. So I will definitely go along and then cut all of these ones out. So you can see that that's the before and that's the after. And what I'm going to do is bring in some bits. Now, I don't have any leftover bells because I only cut 2 large and 2 small. I don't have any leftover bells to share with you, but I'm going to bring in these shapes that I cut out of the Season of Green and Gold designer series paper. So I've used obviously some of them on my layout here. So we've got this one here that looks like a love heart tree with the gold. Oh my gosh, like I literally cannot even deal. It is so pretty, guys, seriously. So that's the love heart with the gold through it. This is the little green. And you can see here, like this one I've cut perfectly and this one's a little bit off the edge. It doesn't matter. By the time you pop it on your layout or your card, you can use these on card fronts, guys. Instead of stamping, you could put these on card fronts and they would look absolutely gorgeous. Part of the reason why I didn't really do a lot of artwork with this online exclusive when it launched back in July is because we were still transitioning. So I didn't have a lot of inspiration for a scrapbook layout. You can see you've got some gorgeous inspiration here for the cards. So I will post some of those graphics in our Facebook group as well to help inspire you. So you've got your love hearts, you've got your little green leaves, and then these are the pine, the little pine sprigs. So how cute. So this has got obviously a paper backing. Okay, now if I was to use my coordinating stamp with this, I would stamp this and on some cardstock in one of the coordinating colors, and then I'd cut that out with my die. Okay, but I was lazy. I didn't buy the stamp set. I'm like, why would I? When I've got this gorgeous paper to work with, I can literally just cut it out. So I love this. If you missed the beginning of my video, because I can see a few more of you, Trudy, Michelle and Kayla have joined us. If you missed the beginning of my video, this paper has been designed exclusively to be able to coordinate with the dies that go with it. And so instead of stamping and die cutting, you are literally just going to use your die to cut out your paper. So that's that bit of paper there, the before and after. I showed you the bell one before, so here's my before and after. Now, you definitely could use your die on these grouped together bells. Obviously, it's not going to cut perfectly, okay? So you are going to get like a little bit of the other bell there. What you could do actually, what I would do here is I would just get my snips scissors and I would fussy cut these ones out, okay? Now, these ones do not coordinate with the die, only the bells on this paper coordinate with the die. That's the before and after. Now, I'm going to move on to the vellum pieces now. So with the vellum, you've got the pine, you've got the little love heart trees, and then you've got these green. So there's no gold embossed on the vellum. There's only the gold embossed on the designer series paper. So with the vellum paper, let me show you the before and after. So this is your specialty vellum paper. You get 2 sheets of each. So 2 of the pine, 2 of the leaves, and then 2 of this beautiful white vellum, okay? So I've only used the ones that coordinate with the die. So here is my before and after. So you can see that this is 1 sheet. I've cut this at 6 inches, and then you can see here where I have cut out the vellum shape using, now this is where you're going to have different dies on different papers. So you're going to use this die. It's just not, like, honestly, how clever is this? It's so clever. You're going to use that die there, and then you're going to use this die here, right? So I pop some washi tape over the top of my dies. I put them in place over the vellum, put some washi tape there, and then ran that through my embossing machine. Is that just not the cleverest thing ever? That's your before and after, okay? And with the vellum, I just used my mini glue dots to stick down, and then you don't really see the mini glue dots that much through the vellum, but I have popped a bell over the top of here. So when you're feeding all your embellishments together, you can cover bits that are straight edged if you've cut your paper off of the edge and you've got a straight edge, or you can just put them over the top of where you're going to see your glue dots through the vellum. So that's the before and after with this paper. And then this is the before and after with the pine cone paper. Now, the thing I love about this vellum is you've got some pine leaves, pine, what do I call this? Pine branches. They're pine branches, right, girls? We don't have a lot of, well, we kind of have like, what are those ones down at Glenelg? They're not like this. They're not like Christmas tree pines. They're like a Norfolk pine, right? Yes, different kind of pine. So you've got the pine branches that are just green, right? So that cuts over the top of there. And then you've got the pine branches that have got some white over the top of them to make it look like snow. Now, it doesn't snow where I live at Christmas time, but that's okay. No one knows. Oh, I didn't use the one with the snow pieces on them anyway. So that's okay. So is that just not the best thing ever? Like, I'm so excited about these dies. I hope that you are excited about them as well. And that is my before and after for the pines. So coming back to the layout here, we've got, some other pattern paper that I've brought in, which you can see down the edges here, the 3-inch strips. I'm just going to move all this to the side. I've shared the spotlight on nature dies with you already. So this is how I've cut out my big circles. I need to clean them. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and brush set to clean them. I have embellished using the gold and silver trim combo pack of ribbon, so perfect for scrapbooking, also your cards. I've threaded it through the little bells here, so yes, the die cut even cuts the little hole. This is your textured specialty paper. So I bought the gold and silver textured, brushed silver and gold foil. So this is a 12 by 12 pack of specialty paper. So you actually get 6 sheets. You get 3 of the gold brushed, and then you get 3 of the silver brushed. Okay. So love that, love that, love that. You might have some metallic paper left over. So, and it's single-sided. I've used 1 sheet of the gold to do both of my mats, these mats here, and then my circles, and then the little love hearts. And then I also brought in some other beautiful gold pattern paper. This is where using that search function on my website came in really handy, girls, because when I was looking at my color palette for this online exclusive, it just had gold foil. And I was like, well, I need to find the gold foil. How do I find that? So I literally went to my website, typed in the word gold, and everything that was gold came up. I was like, oh, I'll order that, and I'll order that, and let's just grab it all and play with it and see what works out best. Here you can see the Season of Elegance. If you were at my open house back when I launched the September mini, I had these papers on display. Again, you've got gold as one of the colors in the palette. So I have shared a scrapbook layout with you using the gold vellum, and this is what I had left over from the Seasons of Elegance. So you're going to have one side which has got the Stampin' Up color, and then this gorgeous gold foil pattern through it, and then the other side is just plain green, and these colors coordinate with Seasons of Elegance. So you've got Mossy Meadow Old Olive, Pretty Peacock Cherry Cobbler, we've got beige, and another one of these is oh my gosh, I've forgotten already. I'm still getting used to all the colors, girls. There's so much to learn. Thank you so much for your patience with me. Here it is here. Oh, basic beige and gold. I thought there was another color. Okay. Well, that's what I have left of that paper there. So again, you've got the Stampin' Up color and the gold. And now whilst this is, you know, in the mini as Christmas paper, one of my customers said she would use this for Chinese New Year with the cherry cobbler and the gold. I mean, honestly, anything where you've got gold in, girls, you can use it. It doesn't have to be Christmas. And you can see here, just by using your coordinating dies, you really can turn your layout into anything at all. So I hope this has inspired you. I haven't got my journaling on here because I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing with this. I think I'm just going to put like Boxing Day 2023. I have invested in a couple of packs of the Stampin' Right markers, which I've not actually used yet, but these are the neutrals color. So you can use these for journaling. You've got 10 markers in the pack. So I may use one of the neutrals, or I might open the Regals. So these colors here, I think it's this green here. These two greens here. One is Mossy Meadow and one will be Old Olive, coordinate here. So I'm not sure what to do. If anyone's got any suggestions, I think I'm just going to keep it simple. I might even see if there's like some metallic pens. I need a metallic pen. That would look cool, metallic gold pen. So they are my tips for this week's Technique Tuesday, using the coordinating dies to go over the top of your printed paper, and you can cut out those gorgeous embellishments yourself. Now, you are going to see more of this style coming in the new year, and I will be sure to point them out to you when those papers and the coordinating dies go live, so you know which ones are which. Thanks so much for joining in this week, ladies. I hope you are inspired, and I can't wait to see the layouts that you create this week. Don't forget to post them in the comments below. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.